People who had to turn their own parents into the police. What's your story? I was 12 years old when my older sister went missing. There was a citywide search for her. Her face was on billboards, and my parents were begging everyone for any information they could find. The police concluded she was the victim of a tragic kidnapping and closed the case. As for my parents, they moved on surprisingly quickly. Within a month, I was being grounded for even mentioning my sister. She and I were super close, even though she was over 15 years older than me. She always took care of me, even saving money for my college fund, so I couldn't just forget her. I started a journal and wrote in it every day about how she used to bake me muffins and how much she loved playing piano. My parents found it and burned it in front of my eyes. You are dishonoring her memory by writing those things and not moving on. That's what they told me when I begged them to stop. I wasn't allowed to say her name even on her birthday, so I would silently celebrate it with a cupcake in the corner of my room. It wasn't until I turned 18 that the truth came out. I had just gotten access to the bank account my sister created for me, and I noticed that it was empty. Every single cent had been taken out 3 days before my sister's disappearance. I wondered why the police didn't investigate this, so I asked the lead detective on the case. We reviewed the footage from the ATM, and since it was your mother who withdrew the money, we determined it was a dead end. I knew for a fact that there were thousands of dollars in it, so I went to confront my parents. I wanted to know why they never told me about this, and if there was a different college fund that they transferred the money to. When I asked where this money was, my mother went silent, and my father just broke down crying. He told my mother he can't keep the secret to himself any longer, and blurted everything out. Turns out, my mother had stolen my sister's purse and taken all the money she had to pay off her massive shopping debts. When my sister found out, she came straight to our house to confront her. She told my mother, "How dare you take the money that was meant for my little brother? You need to give it back right now or I'll sue you for theft." My parents told her to lower her voice, but she didn't. This wasn't the first time she had lost her savings to our parents, so she kept angrily yelling at them. Frustrated and afraid that the neighbors might hear the commotion, my mother grabbed a flower vase and smashed it on my sister's head. When my sister collapsed on top of a pool of blood, that's when my mom realized what she had done. Rather than call the ambulance, she begged my father to help her cover this incident up. My father didn't want her to go to jail over an accident, so he dug a hole in our backyard and buried my sister. They told me it was just an accident and it happened so many years ago. I hope you can forgive us and forget we ever made that mistake. But then I remembered how they had cried on TV and lied about my sister's disappearance, how they had banned the use of her name, and how they had burned my journal that was filled with memories of her. I watched as the police arrested them and dug up my sister's corpse. Last week, I buried her in a proper place and held a memorial. It won't make up for anything, but it did give me closure and the courage to keep going.